Some of you who might be more historian may remember it. Sweeping changes will not come overnight, nor can they be dictated by one person or one governmental body. We in Northwest Indiana must sit together as a unified community and reach consensus of our future. Those words were offered by, I think most of us would call him our friend, and former Congressman Pete Visclosky in 1985 when he presented what he called at the time the Marquette Project. Many years later, in 2023, the Northwest Indiana communities of Hammond, Whiting, East Chicago, Gary, and Portage joined Congressman Visclosky with the support of the visionaries, the dreamers who participated in the development of that plan envisioned a Northwest Indiana that had a lakefront that was accessible to all. The Marquette Greenway Trail and the future lakefront community investments will ultimately provide lakefront access to those here in Northwest Indiana.
Portage is blessed. We have 3 trails going through our city. We have the Prairie Duneland, we have the Iron Horse, and of course this beautiful Marquette Greenway. By far, this trail that we're standing on today has the greatest impact once it will be completed. It will open endless opportunities for jobs and tourism for the 15 cities it will ultimately go through. The thing I love most about this particular trail, and I think many others who have been on it already, are its incredible surroundings, the natural beauty and the peace that you feel when you're out here. As we move out of our COVID world, which we've been in for a long time, we come to realize how essential these trails are to us and what they were during our months of isolation. People came out here to get out of the stress of their home and the craziness of the world we were in. The trails took on a whole new meaning. I remember way back when the trails started, people didn't want them. They were concerned about them going through their backyard and people stealing from their garages. And look what these trails have ended up being. I think people now have a whole new appreciation for the trails, especially after COVID. And thinking back to 2003 when the dream of the Marquette Trail first began, to where we are standing today is just nothing short of amazing.
In 1941, the Sauk Trails Boy Scout Council, formerly known as the Gary Area Council, acquired 115 acres of land along Salt Creek. This property eventually became the Sauk Trail Boy Scout Camp, a camp that I enjoyed. It's laid back in the late 50s and early 60s. The camp hosted thousands of scouts all year round. The scouts and their leaders came from Northwest Indiana and Illinois. The camp closed, unfortunately, in 1962 through the acquisition of that property, that 115 acres, from Bethlehem Steel. Eventually, that property became part of the National Park Service. So today, we want to recognize that camp with a permanent wayside marker. So when you get a chance, take a look at it. It's beautiful. And actually, through the QR code, it connects with the National Scouting Office. So it's designed to give recognition to that camp, who meant so much to so many people, but also to connect with scouting today.
It's a sign of hope, a sign of connecting. Every mile that's completed, you have people waiting to be on it, and they're going to come up to that place where it's not finished yet, and they're going to demand that we finish it. And so I have to be honest with you, we're going to need your help to get the National Park Service to start finishing this trail as it goes west to Gary. We have it programmed in a variety of ways in a couple different segments, but the bureaucracy is chewing on us, and we may need some help to nudge it forward, because the longer we wait, frankly, the more it costs. We're going to make the connection one of these days, and we want that day to be sooner than later. A couple years ago, we were in Burns Harbor cutting a ribbon on the piece that was going west to connect to Portage. and here we are where you can make that trip. And not that we didn't want to do this project, we have a lot going on, but when we learned about this scout camp and we talked about it in the context of this trail being finished, it was just a no-brainer to talk about it. And at some point, maybe that property will become a little bit more than just a story. Maybe there'll be some camping available there. Maybe there'll be additional facilities to help facilitate fishing access to the streams here. So I'm excited about the future potential there. Sue Lynch, Mayor Lynch is a friend of the National Park Service. Scott's a friend of the Park Service. We're all friends, we're all neighbors, we're all partners, we're all collaborators, we're all schemers. And we're all trying to get the federal government, the state, the communities to finish this facility that we know will change the way people who live here move around the region, but it will also provide a facility that was really envisioned decades ago, that when our visitors come, they typically were coming for the beaches. There's so much more here than the beaches. This will be not only a great recreation facility, but a pivotal piece of the changing economy of Northwest Indiana. The people who are going to come here to play are going to be spending money here and are going to have a positive impact, a real low infrastructure requirement impact. We're not going to be belching smoke. We're going to be exerting grunts on bicycles. I hope to spend some of my retirement riding my bike on these trails as they get completed. So the other great thing Chris and I will talk about is we have more Starbucks proximate to the Marquette Greenway than any other trail in North America. And so there's a very good chance after this ceremony, you'll see some green and gray at the Portage Starbucks here. So it's the benefit of working in a park like this, is that we joke about the remote parks because your choices for lunch are, hey, do you want to go to the Subway in Osceola or the Subway in St. Croix Falls? And we have much more variety here at Indiana Dunes National Park. And so we're very excited about that.
In early 2018, Governor Eric Holcomb came to us at the Indiana Department of Natural Resources with a vision to provide connections both within communities and between communities, across communities, if you will. That vision turned into Next Level Trails, which is the largest investment in trails in Indiana history. Together, we've awarded $150 million through 3 rounds into 75 trail projects across the state. To date, 20 projects are complete, totaling 59.38 miles of new trail open to the public across the state, with another 47 trail miles currently under construction. And I'm excited to share that thanks to support from Governor Holcomb and the Indiana General Assembly, we'll soon have more trails in the works. With the governor's signature on our new state budget, another $30 million will be invested in our state's trails network, which will bring us to a total investment of $180 million in Next Level Trails. Right here in Portage, your vision and round 2 application to build this new trail connection is what brought us all here today, to celebrate what is sure to be a successful investment into the quality of life for those who call Porter County home. Finally, we see excitement for economic opportunities along the trail, for recreation, and for new possibilities. And I see that same excitement in each of your faces today.